Your Uncle Don't Know Nothing podcast. Your host, Sauce, the analyst, Doc Prime, Big Play Joe, MJ the Playmaker, and Coach Peyton.
All right, man. We seen what we seen last night. I gotta direct this right at somebody right now though, because this guy has been adamant about seeing the future, but I don't know which future he's seeing. I don't know which universe that you done jumped in, but you ain't seeing it right because it ain't no way the Knicks is gonna see 7 games. You still do you still have stock in that? You still believe that the Knicks can see 7 games out this series?
Until somebody win 4, yeah.
Now, come on, be for real though. Now, let's be for real.
It's crazy because the game's been close, no blowouts or nothing. So it to me, I think Tibbs almost trying to coach his way out of New York right now. I really think that right now because ain't no way like me. You got a 7-footer trying to shoot threes and shooting threes unnecessarily, and he need to get in the post and handle his business. And everybody else, we know the Knicks are lacking that one thing that most teams have that shooting guard that can actually shoot or that point shoot. Jalen Brunson is your typical point guard, your traditional point guard. But I think Tibbs is really being outcoached, and I'm looking at the Indiana, their bench back to back, and their starting 5 is pretty solid. I had a chance to look at them, the past 4 games, and hey, I got to give my hats off to Indiana. They really playing solid defense and smart basketball down the last 5 minutes of each game that I saw. Other than the game they lost, which the game they lost, they should have won. So that's another thing. Like they lost the game, it should have been a sweep, man. I'm not gonna lie, it should have been a sweep.
Ooh, sweet. I agree with you. They should have won the game that first game. They should have won that. The game they came back and won. I ain't gonna lie. It was looking so ugly. I stopped watching it. But I was at a cookout. I stopped watching it, and then I started seeing reactions, and I was like, "Oh, what?" And the Knicks came back
And
that
won.
night. But
Look,
you to ask the big guy to stop playing like he been playing all year, you're not gonna be able to do that.
but
And
Sean, shoulda, woulda, coulda. They didn't. Yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot of people sitting at home, sitting in Cancun, who will agree with them. Man, we should have won that game. Man, we should have won that game. Yeah, a lot of people should have, but they didn't. So
yeah.
that's the story for the Knicks right now. I don't care if you lose by 1 or 20, it's still a L. You're still losing that game, and the Knicks are still sitting at home. Now you told us they was going to win this series in 7, and all of those things you're mentioning are things that I think that we told you before you picked them to go 7. So I just need to know what's different right now.
Hey, until they get to somebody get to 4, it's keep hope alive. It's Jesse Jackson.
I
Well, I
mean,
will tell you that hope is waning right now. That hope is waning right now. And I think one of the things that we mentioned, if you recall, rewind the tape, we talked about that idea of the oh no moment, right? How do you keep your composure when you're getting smacked in the mouth? And how were they going to handle that? How was the coaching staff were going to handle that? How were they going to adjust to that? And it looked like right now, man, they're in bad shape. They're going back home, and all the Pacers got to do is win one of those, and game over. And the way that they're playing right now, the Knicks, if they had the pucker factor before, they really got it now. And the most embarrassing thing is that it's going to be at home, and the Pacers got 2 chances to do it. It's looking pretty grim right now.
well,
They messed
I
up.
think they're going to New York. I think New York got to play their heart out and get back to Indianapolis. Can they win in 7? Nothing is impossible. But I'm on record saying that if the Pacers won game 1 with a heartbreaking type finish, that was going to be it for the Knicks, and they'd be done in either 5 or 6 games. Right now, I'm leaning towards 5. The Pacers too deep. They have too many guys coming off. They're able to ratchet the pace of the game up to a tempo that just wears the Knicks out throughout the game. I think both of the coaches are doing a great job. I just think the Knicks don't have the horses. And this goes back to something that people don't like to acknowledge. I remember 2004, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, and some dudes made it to the finals. And when they got to the finals, they ran up against the Detroit Pistons, who were a team that went 7 or 8 deep. And the Pistons smothered them with a defensive game plan and just with too many people. They were triple teaming Kobe. Shaq was getting his, and nobody else could really help. And that's what happens in the playoffs. You need depth. And the Indiana Pacers know their roles, they know who they are, and they just want to win. And that's the problem for the Knicks right now. I don't think they can overcome that. I think these games are close because these are the two best teams in the Eastern Conference. No team is way better than the other. And I think for this series, the Knicks lost the momentum in game 1, and that was the missing element to help get them over the hump. I think Jalen Brunson answers some questions. Can a short guy who's your number 1 option lead you on a deep playoff run? The answer is yes. They're not losing because of him. They're not losing because Karl Anthony Towns isn't playing great. He's having a great series. They're losing because they're just not as deep of a team as the Pacers are. And so it's going to be interesting to see in Game 5 at home. I think you're going to see Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson both go for over 30. I think they both going to do it. And I think it's just, again, not going to be enough. I think we're going to see somebody from the Pacers put up a 30 spot along with the rest of the players, and that's going to be it.
You know, I saw something in game 4, though, that I think could give the Knicks some hope. So in the second quarter, when Tyrese Halliburton took a break, the Indiana Pacers offense stalled. It really stalled. And it got so bad that it got to 56-56 because the Knicks had came back on, I want to say like a 12 or 15-point run and had tied the game. And when Tyrese came back on the floor, I mean, it looked like Jordan. And I know we don't want to be throwing that name out, right? But I'm just saying just the impact that he had on the offense, because the reason why I said it looked like Jordan, because everybody started contributing again. He started throwing the assists. The offensive machine started producing again. So I think that should give the Knicks some hope, because if that could be a recipe to success, how do you double team, triple team? How do you stop Tyrese Halliburton and put a damper on that offensive juggernaut and force the other players to play without him? Force them to produce that same type of offense without him. Now, I don't know how you do that. I'm just saying I did think that was pretty interesting in the second quarter.
And the thing about that, Halliburton is not even shooting well. Like, he been held in check pretty much the first 3 quarters, and it's just that fourth quarter he kind of like picked the pace up. But it's just surrounding cats that have been hitting big shots and been helping them out.
Well, back in the day,
that triple double didn't hurt though. I'm just saying that 32
No,
points.
it didn't. He got off in that game. Yeah,
but hold on. Back in the day,
it was a breakout game.
When you watch the NBA now, they switch everything. And that's not something they did back in the early 2000s. And there's a reason for that. Switching everything allows the offense to get the matchup that they want. And back in the day, it used to be, hey, I'm trying to get Tim Duncan matched up on a small forward or smaller. I'm trying to get Kobe matched up on the point guard, something like that. Now they just switch everything. But the Knicks, they're in desperation. So what I would do to try to change it is that old school thing of if you can't beat the dude when he's on the court, then get him off the court by getting him in foul trouble. So what the Knicks should look to do is keep attacking Halliburton in a one-on-one set. Either get somebody to get him in the post and attack him there, get Jalen Brunson one-on-one with him at the top of the key where nobody can help. Try to get him into foul trouble and just keep attacking him on when he's on defense. That's kind of like that old school way of playing. Now it's going to completely change the flow of their offense, and they'd have to run different kinds of sets to make sure they're spaced out nicely. And like if OG and Anunoby catches it and you've got Halliburton on you, then you need to take him and make a move and try to get to him. Don't settle for jump shots. But that could feasibly work. And I mean, like, look, when you're down 3-1 and the team is beating you on your home court twice, you got to pull out whatever you can in game 5 because it's desperation time.
Facts.
Even a bet.
All right, well,
Facts.
I was gonna ask y'all, what were some game plans or what kind of strategy the Knicks could use. But y'all guys, y'all saw the future. I didn't have to ask the question. Y'all jumped out there and came with it. Yeah, I agree, man. They're gonna have to do something with that dude because they rallying around him. I mean, it's clear he the leader. He playing good basketball. He got them boys fired up. I can't see the Knicks getting two straight. I can't. I love to see it because the games have been interesting. The game's been good. Um, Towns shooting from downtown, I don't particularly like it, but that's the man game. And at this point, you in the conference finals, I'm not gonna ask the man to change his game. He put the ball on the floor. He busting spin moves. I mean, he giving 100%. He giving 100%. So I'm gonna go with Mark on this one. They just not deep enough. They just not. And with that being said, man, let's move on over to the Wolves and OKC. Listen, man. I mean,
The Wolf got struck by lightning.
woo. And listen, SGA is the truth. He the truth. What I gotta say about Ant-Man, they calling him Cant-Man now, just that and the third. Listen, man, if you're gonna put the league on your back, real talk. If you're gonna put the
Yeah.
league on your back, you gotta be LeBronis, Jordanis. You gotta be Kobe-ish. You gotta be them dudes. I'm gonna tell you why. Because even in a loss, Jordan gonna give you 40. If Jordan teammates are not playing well, Jordan gonna give you what he gotta give you, whether you win or lose. He not gonna give you 15. That's very seldom gonna happen. He gonna give you what he gotta give you, win or lose. If the team playing well, then it's gonna be crazy. If the team playing bad, he gonna step the game up. I don't know if Ant-Man can do that, but he gonna have to do something because at the end of the day, that boy SGA is going crazy. And man, you have to abandon the 3-point shot when it ain't working. You gotta learn to love that mid-range jumper, man. You gotta get down in the paint. When they keep shooting and it just make me want to slam the TV. You got plenty of time. I can understand in the fourth quarter, you down bad, you down by 10 or better. You gotta get some points going. Understood. In the beginning of the game, if you're not hitting the threes, go to the mid-range jumper. Once stuff start falling, you start feeling comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I played a little basketball, I ain't go pro, a little bit of basketball. I won't try until I was just having some fun. But as a shooter, I knew that once I hit a few shots in front of the people, all the little nerves and stuff calm down and you start seeing the bucket better. But you're not going to keep jacking up threes, man, missing them and thinking that you're going to catch up with this team some kind of way when they are sprinting far ahead of you. And I mean, they got plenty of gas in the tank and they got that boy SGA that just seemed like God didn't pick this boy or something, man. Like, this dude is
Yeah.
miraculous, man. I mean, his shot selection, his basketball IQ. I mean, the way he can just do a weird shot, but it looked good and go in. I'm just like, yo, I feel like Larry Bird felt when he looked across the court and said, "Man, that ain't no basketball player, man. That's Jesus."
Like Jesus.
I'm
Oh,
telling you.
time out.
Yeah,
Time
bro.
out. Look, hold on. And I love SGA as much as the next person. Respect his game. He's clearly the best player in this series. But in the game, he scored 40. He shot 13 for 30 from the field. I mean, we got to stop acting like he came in there and put up like a LeBron or a Jordan type 16 for 24 a night and just was unstoppable. He missed more shots than he took. Now, I'm not saying that to degrade him or say he doesn't deserve the praise he's getting. I'm saying that to say the Minnesota Timberwolves need to be looking in the mirror and realizing that they have lost games that they should have won, and it's for a completely different reason than the other team was just better. It's been because their best players have not led the way and played like the best players. In that game, you saw Randall and Edwards both had pedestrian games. They did not show up with that mentality that we've got to lead the rest of our guys to victory against the MVP and the best record team in the league. You can't come out there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna just facilitate and somebody else gonna have a big game." Who gonna have a big game? They if they could have had these big games, then they would be the face of the team. It's you.
Yeah.
You've got to go out and have the big game. And what's frustrating with Anthony Edwards is consistency. You have to come out and play a consistent game of basketball. You can't give me 40 one night and then give me 14 the next night. You can't do that, especially in the playoffs. I mean, defensively, you can tell they're playing hard. I'm not going to take that away from them. And remember, this is the best teams in the conference, so it's not like anybody's being a scrub. They're giving me the effort defensively, but you can beat yourself offensively, and I think that's what's happening to them when they're making the rest of their teammates have to carry so much of the load and the burden. Like Edwards, you've got to put up 25 plus each night. That's something that LeBron James was always great at doing. Rarely would he come out and just give you 14 in a game. The rest of the team can't function around that. And when they lost that game by 2 and your star player doesn't even have 25, you're like, man, we should have won that game big time. That's what got me upset. And I know it's hard, and I know he's a great player, but he got to play better in the playoffs, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the interview, they had an interview with him, and he seemed like not taking any accountability of his game also. And like you said, Mark, you can't. This is the playoffs. You gotta. If you score 25 average in a season, you gotta tick it up 28, 29, 30. You gotta put your team in a better position offensively and defensively. You get the effort. But to just showing off you had a bad game, or he got on the NBA and say, hey, I had a good game. Come on. Ain't no good game when you lose. You gotta be passionate about losing it. You gotta be passionate about winning. You ain't never see Jordan on it. Well, I had a good game. No, Jordan was pissed. If team didn't win, Steve Kerr got it in the eye. We all know that. So, he got to go in and start punching some people or something. Hey, he might have to. But he got to punch himself first because, like you said, you the face of the NBA. You own commercials. You got the Adidas deal. You doing this and doing that. Sometimes you got to concentrate on your game, concentrate on your teammates, and make it happen. Period. All these games, you half-assing. Hey, I had to say that, but you gotta step it up. Ain't no more excuses after this. Period.
What happened? What happened with the historical win they had as far as the point spread? Did they just in the next game say? Did they feel too confident going into the next game? Did that have anything to do with it? Because you got to expect. I mean, me personally, I ain't expect this. I thought Ant-Man was going, get busy and it was going to be when I saw that big game they had with that big lead they won by. I was like, all right, that's it. Here it come. Here it go right here. And then stink it up the next night. And man, what I think he had 15 points.
Yeah.
I mean, your star
Yeah.
player can't go out like that. You think they were
No,
overconfident or they just got beat?
I think they were overconfident. The reason Oklahoma City got ran like that is because they came in off those 2 blowout home wins, reading their own press.
Yeah.
And so they came in there and didn't come out. They just thought everything was going to fall. And so the Timberwolves ran away. Now, the Timberwolves went right into the locker room. You still down in the series. They went in the locker room and was like, hey, man, we got them now. It's over, man. They know who we are. Instead of their coach turning around and telling them, man, y'all didn't do nothing. They didn't show up. In game 4, they're going to show up. And now you're going to have to really do something. Everything, you got to forget this game and pretend like it's a 0-0 series and that tomorrow is a must win. But they didn't do that. They went into game 4 and played it as if it was game 3 and that things was going to just happen for them, and they got beat. And to me, that just shows inexperience. Anthony Edwards taking his foot off the gas. He needs to watch more of like the old Kobe interviews where Kobe would say, even up 2-0, you're not happy. Because if you take your foot off the gas for a second, that other team is good enough, it's over. Kobe was up 3-1 in the series, lost it. One of the worst parts of his career, and he probably would regret that if he was still here. Rest in peace. But Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, I mean, the coach, I mean, I kind of blame all the leaders on that team for you're now sitting in this position where you've got to win 3 straight. And is it possible? Yes. But do I think they got the mental makeup based on what I've seen in this series to play the right way, hard, all 3 games? I do not.
They played like they was load
Consistency.
management.
Consistency is actually a gift. Consistency is a gift because I can work with consistency. What I can't work with is inconsistency. In other words, if you consistently, all right, I know, all right, you giving me 20. I wish you could give me more, but I'm going to get 20. Okay, well, let me adjust. Let me plan around that. Let me see if I can play to your strength. But if you're up and down, how do I plan for that? Like that is the problem. If you're inconsistent, it is difficult to really come up with a thinking man's game and a plan that will actually utilize my strengths and my talents because you're not giving me consistent play. And I think that is one of the things that's missing as well.
All
Hey,
right,
but just real quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted real quick. Face of the league. I've heard this a while, and I've heard people saying Edwards. One, I've heard him say he doesn't want to be the face of the league. One, and then 2, is the face of the league chosen, or does the face of the league take it? I
That's a
feel
good one.
like the face of the league is something you take. Like, okay, I'm not the face of the league. Win a ring. All right, no, I'm still not the face of the ring. Win another ring. Oh, I'm still not the face of the league. Win one more. Now, guess what you are? You're the captain now. You're the face of the league now. So I think all of this waiting on the media to tell us who's the face of the league. No, go out there and win it. And I think this season we're going to see somebody new win it and be the kind of the king of the hill. And next season is going to be a bloodbath. You got a lot of people who want to come back and make up, quote unquote, for what's happened. Luka Doncic wants revenge on every walking soul in basketball right now. The Mavericks, Kyrie Irving and them, they want the smoke. The San Antonio Spurs got a lot of young people who want to come out and show what they can do. The Knicks want revenge. Like there's a whole bunch of teams, Oklahoma City, Indianapolis, there's a lot of teams. And I think if you try to anoint somebody in the media face of the league, you're just going to get embarrassed each time. You got to see somebody come out and earn it through their performance.
Hey, to that real quick before we move on, I might have to disagree a little bit because Steph Curry was winning those rings, but LeBron was still the face. So you might be chosen sometimes or you take it. I mean, we know Jordan took it and chosen. It was both. But couldn't nobody take it from LBJ and still can't.
Yeah.
Until he retired. I mean, we could say that he, but
it's more than rings. It's more than rings because LBJ earned it by like when you'd be like, oh, that other dude's the face of the league. LBJ would be like, this dude right here, And in that next game, he was giving it to that guy.
Chase him down and put it on the backboard. Bing.
Yeah.
Yep. 55. That's your king right there.
Yeah.
So you have to do that. And what I'm saying is Anthony Edwards has not done that to anybody. Shea just did it to him. Oh, okay. Oh, y'all beat us by 42. You think you somebody? Smack. Here's 40 points on you. What's good?
Yeah.
And
I wanted to say one last thing about, when we talk about teams winning at home. Mark, you had a really good thing when you talked about, hey, if you at home, you're supposed to win at home, right? In 1986, the NBA playoffs, the Boston Celtics had a 10-0 record at home. They were undefeated at home. And that dominance actually led them to win the championship. But what people don't know, and especially your uncle, what he don't know is that they played on a court which was a parquet floor, and it had dead spots. And the Boston Celtics team knew exactly where not to dribble.
Yes.
That contributed to them getting the win and being undefeated at home. And that's where the idea of home court advantage actually came from. People think it's from the crowd, but in that particular instance, it was because they knew where not to dribble. And I guarantee your uncle didn't know that.
Yeah, your uncle he definitely didn't know that.
You know,
And
yeah.
we're gonna go ahead on we're gonna go ahead on and put that asterisk up there for the Celtics. And
Yeah,
all right,
termites out there.
so we got OKC and we got
yeah.
the Pacers.
Indiana. Yeah.
All right, man, let's
Should be
move
good.
on.